And they say, oh, Jesus came to Menneson, or Jesus came to Charleroi, or Jesus came to Pittsburgh, or Jesus came to Cincinnati. He's over there. But they say, lo, here is Christ, or lo, he is there. Believe it not. Why? When Jesus comes, every eye shall see him. Nobody can have to tell you he came, because it's going to be so bright, and when he comes, it's going to be in flaming fire, taking vengeance. Look in Revelation, I believe the Lord wants me to turn there briefly, and chapter 6 is where I believe I want to go. Look in verse, I shall read verse 11. And white robes were given unto every one of them. These are the ones that have been martyred for the cause of Christ. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, till their fellow servants also and their brethren should be what? Does it say raptured? It says killed as they were, should be fulfilled. And I beheld, when, in verse 12, Revelation 6, when he opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she's shaken of a mighty wind, and the heaven departed as a scroll. Yeah, nobody's going to tell you about this. It said, when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. What section of the Bible deals with this? It says the elements are going to melt with fervent heat and all that. 2 Peter chapter 3 gets right into this. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide them from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. That's what happened when Jesus comes. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Just like when the flood came in Noah's day, how many more people got saved? None. The door was shut. God said, that's it. Back in the book of Mark, and for the elect's sake, the days will be shortened up. And then if they shall say to you, verse 21 again, lo, here is Christ, or lo, he is there. Believe it not, for false Christ and false prophets shall rise, and shall show signs and wonders. This is the false prophet. What are they trying to do? To seduce, to get you to sign on to the Antichrist. If it were possible, even the what? Elect. But take ye heed. I can't say that. Be so on your toes, on your guard, careful, watching, praying, putting on the whole armor. Keep looking to Jesus. Behold, I have foretold you all things. What Jesus said to us. I'm getting you ready. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I don't want you to be caught unawares. I don't want that day to overtake you as a thief. That's in 1 Thessalonians 5. Ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. We have inside information. Paul said he told the people all things. Jesus said he foretold us all things. And Peter said we have to be reminded of those things in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. But in those days, verse 24, after that tribulation, after all that time of sorrows like there's never been, after the tribulation, the sun shall be darkened. It says, and the moon shall not give her light. Where did I just read from? Revelation chapter 6. Doesn't it say the same thing? It says, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. Again, that's Revelation chapter 6 verbatim. It says, then shall the sea, they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with great power and glory. And what are they going to be doing? Crying to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. And then, this is after he comes in the cloud. Then, this is after the tribulation. Then shall he send his angels and shall gather together who? His elect. Is this just from Israel? What does it say? From the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth, and the uttermost part of heaven. That's like in Revelation 7, there's this great multitude shows up in heaven. It said, where'd they come from? Sir, thou knowest. These are they which did what? Came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. And they're going to be before the throne of God and rule with him forever. But he'll send his angels, shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from the uttermost part of earth to the uttermost part of heaven. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When her branch is yet tender, it's green and soft, and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is near. You don't need a degree in botany or biology or whatever to figure that out. You go outside and see the bugs on the trees. What do you know? Summer's coming. Hear what Jesus said now. So ye, in like manner, we shall see these things come to pass. All the ones he talked about. When these start to happen, they have happened with Israel becoming a nation. The ecumenical movement, the apostasy, the Middle East situation, the wars and rumors of war, the spread of Islam, the television, the internet, all that. Even the technology for the mark of the beast. Who could imagine there could be in place a system that would control who buys and sells? And they could do away with cash today. They could say, if you don't have a card, you can't buy or sell. And then the card could easily turn into a chip where you have to be registered as a believer in the one world government. You have to accept the Antichrist as your shepherd and savior, basically. When you shall see these things come to pass, what's that next word? No. Not hope. Not think. No. I mean, be sure in your heart that it is nigh. How close is it? Even at the doors. And I said, somebody's making a trip to your house from Los Angeles. They travel thousands of miles. And they're not only on your porch, they're knocking on your door. That's how close we are to the return of the Lord. Things are happening so fast right now. And one of the greatest signs, I'm telling you, look at this, is the change in our nation in the last 10 years. We have gone from being a so-called Christian nation to being a lukewarm, non-Christian, all-religion nation. And we've taken away the rights of Christians, and it's going to show up in laws passed that we will be outlawed. You mark it down. True believers, narrow-minded people who think the Bible is literal and true, and think Jesus is the only way to heaven, they're going to be in trouble. But you know it's nigh, even at the door. Verily, I say unto you, verily is truly, for sure, I, as Jesus, saying to me, to you, that this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Now, some people thought that meant the people standing there when Jesus spoke this. That there would be some of those people like Peter, James, John, that some of them would still be alive when he comes back. But the generation that saw the beginning of it, some of them will be alive to see the end of it. When did this really begin? 1948. Israel, the flag with the